we are back here with the new mental health series. I have my dear friend here, Derek. We actually met through community service and giving back to just others and, our passion to make better happen, really. So here's Derek going to give him the opportunity to introduce himself and talk a little bit about him.
Hello, everyone. My name is Derek, aka Dose of D-Lee. I love all things DIY projects, and I would love to be able to connect with you. So on all social media platforms, you can look me up on the Dose of D-Lee.
And I will have that listed below so that you can follow my dear friend Derek.
Yes. So happy to be here with you. I'm excited.
Thank you so much for being here. I know that you're busy and you are always in a lot of different areas, which I love. I admire that. We have similar personalities in that sense. And so I think it's good to, use your talents in different ways. And so thank you for your time and your friendship.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm excited. I've been watching you. I've been watching your different videos. They're so inspiring, and they always just give me the more life that I need to keep pushing. So thank you for your service and your commitment to making sure that this channel is always empowering us on the daily. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Yes. So I actually met Derek, I was thinking almost 7-8 years ago.
No, legit. It has been a while. It has.
Wow. And so I was also just kind of thinking back on our friendship, and we have seen each other grow professionally and personally, just in different areas of our life, So we've been able to celebrate each other and also rely on one another. I know that I have come to you in times of need where I have just needed some guidance or some advice, and you have been there for me. So I'm forever grateful for that. Thank you so much.
I just love her, y'all. This is legit. I love her.
So we are actually going to be talking about service. And what do I mean by service? So giving back to your community, giving your time, just helping other individuals who may be less fortunate than you are. And so I think that has really changed both of our lives.
I agree.
I think that being immersed in communities and with individuals and just learning about their whereabouts and, what their struggles are, and just sometimes it can be economic, it can be cultural, it can just be language barriers, it can just be so many things societal. And so just giving them time, your time just means so much more. And
I agree.
Let's talk a little bit about that. So how has service impacted your life?
It really allowed me to just kind of get out of what I thought I knew about life and really moccasin, so put myself in someone else's shoes, right? So service allowed me to open up my eyes to really see, I may view things from this point of view, but however, when I think about the way that you may view it, let me actually try to understand where you're coming from. So service allowed me to open up my mind, open up the way that I view life, and it has changed me for the better. I enjoy it for the best.
I really love that you said open up your mind.
Yes.
I think that is one of the biggest things that service has assisted me with as well. I think because you have a lot of individuals who have maybe these preconceived notions about a certain population, let's say, or a certain area, a neighborhood.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I think that when you actually go into these neighborhoods and you go and speak to these different populations, you really get to know them for who they are and not what society says.
I agree.
And so let's talk about that. I think that, it's so important for you not to always just listen to what others' opinions are of an entire population.
Right.
We can't say that everyone in this population is this way, because that's honestly not even true.
It's not the truth.
And so it's really hard for individuals to really grasp that if they don't have the opportunity to, be one-on-one with them or be in a small group. So what is something that you have learned?
I have learned to really, when I go into certain communities, certain service opportunities, to get rid of what I think I know, what I think I've heard, and really just try to indulge in what's happening. And so for me, you stated so well just a couple of seconds ago about sometimes we hear these things about different communities and we see these things about different communities, but what happens when we actually walk through these communities and we kind of get alongside these people and you start to hear their stories and their trials and how they still every day find that joy and peace within themselves to overcome these issues and these battles. And it's just so inspiring and so empowering because it allowed me to realize, wow, I was guilty because I thought this about this demographic or this community, but it wasn't until I was able to walk alongside them, I started to open up my eyes and realize, wow, all these years I have been wrong, or wow, all these years I could be making a better impact if I had some time to actually be more involved in what's happening and on the ground, getting dirty, making sure I'm picking up trash, even just stopping by handing out food or just saying hello. You know, for example, I never forget the first time. You know, I'm not from Central Florida. I'm from West Palm Beach, so 2 hours towards the whole popular Miami, Boca area, West Palm Beach, South Florida, as people call it. And I never, to be honest, I never like picked up trash. I never went to the homeless population, right? And it wasn't until I went to the homeless population and I volunteered that I started to hear about some of these people's stories. And not everybody was aggressive. People were just wanting some love. And I'll never forget that one day that it was cold in Orlando. I'm a plus size guy. I'm a big guy. So this one heavyset guy didn't have any clothes. Well, I've been losing weight. So my jackets fit him. So I went home. I drove an hour away to go home to get my jackets that pretty much I couldn't wear anymore. And I brought him back and he waited. And the connection, and we spoke for hours. And just that little touch of a jacket made him like, wow, it really changed his life. But if I would have kept that same mindset that I had about homelessness or being able to volunteer, it wasn't a negative mindset. It just, I never knew the history behind how do you get to this place, you know? I never had to experience being homeless. So for me, of course, I'll always give at the gas station or give at the stop sign. But I always wanted to know, how did you get to this place? What was your background to getting here? And me getting rid of what I thought I knew and actually getting on the ground with them, talking with them side by side, it changed my perspective around homelessness. And so now I love being able to give back, just not outside of just not only into the schools, but also outside the school realm. So yes.
Yes, I want to touch a little bit on that as well. So I know that I had some experience with feeding and serving the homeless. And one thing that stood out to me the most is when we were having conversations with them is that they said they want to be seen.
Yeah.
A lot of people just walk by and act like they don't even exist.
Right.
And so something I always do now that I learned that firsthand was I always say hi.
Yes.
I always greet them.
I agree.
Even if I don't have anything at that time to give them, just acknowledge them because they are human beings and they want to be seen and heard.
It matters.
So they're willing to share stories. And so I have heard some amazing stories and some horrifying, sad stories of how they got to where they are. I know that a lot of time there's stigma around that individuals who are homeless, you know, may have a good lifestyle or just trying to get some extra
money.
Trying to
get by, correct. I agree.
That's not always the case.
It's not always.
And so that really raffles me when people just generalize that whole population.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's talk about where we actually kind of met and more in the educational realm. So Derek and I actually committed to 2 years of national community service. That 1,800 hours times 2.
Times.
That was really great. And so I think that really opened up my eyes even more to communities where I grew up. I am from Central Florida. Nice. So there were schools that didn't have a good reputation that I was now placed toward as a tutor and a mentor. And so, I mean, tell me some stories maybe that something that stood out to you that maybe a student either shared with you or that you learned from a student or something that, you know, you saw some growth in them.
Definitely. I will never forget this one story where a young man would come to school every single day and he would always come to school late and always asking for snacks. And I'm like, well, one, why are you coming to school late? Like, let's get you here on time, buddy. Let's figure out a game plan for you. And when I sat down and hear how he would have to walk his sister to school, and his mom worked 3 jobs, so he was pretty much always home by himself. And he had to walk his little sister to the elementary school, then come back to middle school. He's tired, and sometimes, you know, he's hungry, and he never complained. He taught me a valuable lesson. I'm getting like choked up just thinking about it. That doesn't matter what you're going through. It's important how you view your situation. And he always viewed his situation with that growth mindset. And as a young kid, he didn't understand what the growth mindset means. But as me being an adult, I understood the way that how he always responded. He always responded with a positive attitude. It's okay. And that situation, that interaction changed my life for the better. Because now it allowed me to be grateful for the things that I have and stop complaining about, oh my God, I'm tired of working these long hours. But if this young man can walk almost about 5 to 6 blocks to school, take care of his little sister, and then try his best to become an education, that inspired me. Because so many times we go through things in life, not only life, but during service time, and it can be sometimes challenging because why? Because you're learning more things daily. But this student never complained. That really inspired me to just kind of look at life different. And now I'm always viewing life, okay, now where's the good in this? And it always happens. So that really changed me, inspired me for the better.
I love that. I think that's something that I learned personally about service and giving back is that, especially working with the students that we did, is that we were there, placed into certain classrooms and working with them one-on-one, being a tutor, being a mentor, working English or math. And so we typically were, the teachers. We were that mentor. We were the ones teaching them the lessons. But I never knew how much they were going to teach me.
They taught us a lot.
So much. And you just gave an amazing example of how, you were able to grow from this student's, environment. And so sometimes these students or individuals don't have, all the resources that they need. Or they may be there, but they don't know how to reach out for them. They don't know how to ask for help. And so really just being that available to them really can make a difference. That's why I think it's so important to check in on people. Whether it's individuals who are within our own, our inner circle or outside. So I think that that's really great because you never know what someone is going through.
Never know.
And something else that I really love that I learned is, just saying hi to everyone because there's stories and there's statistical data that individuals who, for example, may want to take their life are looking for a sign. And you saying hello or you, saying how's
noticing
your day,
them, right?
Really there to listen, not just, hey, how's your day? Bye.
No.
Really genuinely, wholeheartedly care to know, then that can change the whole trajectory of their life.
And you said a key thing, speaking to people, that can break down so many barriers. And also, it kind of gets like, oh, wow, you noticed me. And every single day I would step on that campus and I would always speak to every single faculty, student, teacher, even sometimes parents at morning greeting. It was very key to me that I always was an outspoken person and I always want you to reflect in 5 seconds, you matter, right? So even right now, how we're recording this and we're trying to inspire someone is because everyone out there matters. And so even you click on this video for 5 seconds, we want you to understand that you matter, your mental health matters. So by speaking to you, that stuff matters. And it really, really, even with Jennifer, me just saying hello, hi, and me having a big old smile on my face, made her realize, I don't know this young man, but okay, I kind of can get with his energy. Why? Because I came and I spoke and I meant what I said. Good morning, how are you? Do you need anything? It matters. So yes, it matters. Saying hello, speaking, I love it. I'm big on that. Every single morning, good morning, how are you? Are you good? Okay, great. Have a good day. But it matters.
Yes, I agree 100%. And I think that also service has really shown us the opportunity to not just care about yourself, but to care also about others. Because yes, our mental health is important.
Very.
And yes, we need our needs to be met. And yes, we have things to do. And, that list can go on and on.
Right.
But it's really important. I think that we were also placed on this earth to serve others.
People. Yes. It's big. When you realize that once you really learn the definition of servant and then having a servanthood and having a servant heart and what service means and what your humanity means to others, you will never look at doing things the same way ever again. Everything that you do should have a purpose behind it, right? And so when you talk about serving people, it's one of my favorite things to do. I love being able to help people. I love being able to help people recognize what they have inside of them. Their potential, right? Because I grew up without a mentor. So now I have a lot of mentees and a lot of people that mentor me now at this current state of my life. And it's the best thing I've ever decided to embark on, because when people are able to pull out of you what's lying dormant, it's an amazing feeling to realize you can accomplish literally anything you put your mind to. And that is just so powerful when you really think about that. Like, wow, I can really do this if I have a game plan, and it's so important.
Yeah, I think that you mentioned a few things. I think one, accountability. So I think mentorship is accountability. So having individuals that you trust to hold you accountable.
Yes.
Saying like, hey, you said you were going to do X, Y, and Z. Like, have you done that this week?
Have you?
If so, why not? Like, what do we got to do to get you there? And I think that that's really a great community and environment to look for if you don't have one. And if you have it, utilize it.
Yes.
There's people in your life who want good for you.
I agree.
And, it's a mutual benefiting, source, right? Like, I want you to do well, you want me to do well. Like,
I agree.
We can help each other in different ways. Like, we have different talents and different connections and just different things that, we are a community as a whole. We succeed better together.
I agree.
And we don't have to have this individualistic mindset that, I need to only worry about myself, because that's not what we are created to do and to be.
Yeah, I agree. It's good to always, and something I learned. I started therapy a couple of months ago. Y'all, listen to me, people out there. If you have never had the opportunity to sign up for therapy, it's amazing. It has changed my life for the better. You have someone that you can just talk through your thoughts with, and it's like a wow moment. Like I leave therapy, and I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm just like open to so much more. And so I started therapy, and it's amazing to have someone that's holding me accountable. Because here's the thing that I have struggled with in the past. I'm someone who's always there for people, and I give and I give and I forget to take a moment to realize, okay, you have to replenish at a certain point, right? And so servanthood can also, you want to give, you want to make sure everybody else is happy. Every now and then you have to kind of take a step back and realize, wait a minute, let me have a self-care day. Let me read a book. Let me walk outside, get a park. Let me go get a nice, refreshing bottle of water. And those things matter. So as servants, sometimes we forget to make sure every time take a step back for ourselves. So therapy has really helped me with a lot. And so I know we're trying to advocate for a lot of things right now, but I want to just throw that plug in there. That's okay with Jennifer.
Yes, I love that.
Also making sure that your mental health is also being well, but also talk to someone that is a licensed professional that can really give you some key things to help you move forward in your life. So I'm a big advocate for therapy, and I'm going to keep advocating for therapy. So find you a therapist, and I promise you it's going to help you through a lot of things.
Thank you. Yes, I mean, I obviously am a huge advocate for mental health. That's like my profession, but I just firmly believe that anyone can go to therapy for any reason.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that no matter what life stage, no matter how old you are, no matter what your background is, we are here to listen to you, not judgmentally. And we're here to help you be the best individual that you can be and achieve your goals and dreams. And we understand that there are setbacks, but we want to talk about those setbacks. We want to figure out why are you not being able to achieve what you want to achieve. And also like just point out some good, healthy information. Establish some good habits, establish some good communication. So sometimes those are the biggest things that are a struggle. Habits and communication.
Yes. Because a lot of times as people, we function best when we're kind of busy a lot of times. And sometimes we kind of forget to slow down. So you kind of forget. You kind of create these habits, and it's kind of like, yeah, I'm good. And you realize, oh, wait a minute. I need to kind of slow down. So you're absolutely right. And something else that I learned just by, working in that school environment with those kids from a different community that I'm from, is that they always had fun and find time to laugh.
Yes.
Always. And that's taught me about life. No matter what you're going through, finding time to smile, finding time to laugh, and finding time to just always block out what's going on that may not make you always have the happiness. And those students taught me that. That doesn't matter what they walk past every single day, when they got to that school ground, when they got to our classroom, they always knew that they was going to have a good time. And when I wake up every morning, it doesn't matter what I forgot to do the night before, which email I forgot to answer, I always remember, listen, smile, enjoy life, and have a good time. And those kids really taught me so much through those 2 years. And it was amazing to really experience that. It was amazing. And my life till this day, has not been the same. I look at things so much better with a different lens. And I'm always forever grateful for just walking into servanthood. It's amazing.
It is. It truly is. And I think that you mentioned something about always making that time to smile, always making that time. There is always time. I understand that there is, a lot of us have busy schedules. I think that that's like in our culture. It's like on the go, on the go, on the go. Yes. But look for things that make you happy, and it doesn't have to take you a lot of time.
No.
It could be something like, a 15-minute walk. Maybe just getting up and stretching.
Yes.
Like doing things that are going to fulfill you. I think that's the most important thing.
It is. I agree. Like I'm right now in the challenge of doing 10,000 steps a day.
Whoa.
And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. But it's so much fun. Like we're literally like a group of 30 of us in a group meet, and we're just out there trying to make sure we post our steps every day.
That's accountability,
right?
Yes.
But imagine that's something that you kind of like, 10,000 steps, huh? I do that, but you realize you don't really do 10,000 steps. But it's been so much fun. I'm outdoors, I'm being safe and making sure I'm following the correct protocol. What's going on? Protocols. I'm making sure that I'm staying safe, but we're having so much fun. And during that time, I'm starting to realize, I'm clearing my head. I'm getting that fresh air out here. I'm making sure I'm having a wonderful time. And it's been fun. So I agree. Exercising, reading a book. It's amazing. Cooking is another thing that we don't think about. Learning how to push yourself and cook different meals and just decorate your home. It's a lot of things that you can do to have that well-being. Being that whole you. Really focusing on making sure that you're a whole as a person is really key.
Yeah, and I think that there's something for everyone.
Yes, so, definitely.
Yeah, something that may work for you, may not work for someone else, but really sharing those things and maybe opening people's mind to like, hey, I didn't think about taking 10,000 steps today, or I didn't think about this new dish. What's the recipe?
What's the recipe? How do I do it? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's so much thing that you can do. And recently, I have a couple of friends I'm really close with, and we talk about a lot of current events.
Okay.
Right? Whether we agree with them or not agree with them, we have those conversations.
Healthy communication. Being open to listening to other opinions that are different from yours. That's the only way that you can learn.
And my friends are a very diverse group of people, so we're open to hearing about whatever may be on your topic or your mind at the time.
Different perspectives.
And we sit there and we're like, I didn't think of it that way, right? It go back to that word moccasin, putting yourself in someone else's shoes. So also go back to service. So when we have these conversations, these healthy dialogues, we're saying, Jennifer, I like that thought that you pointed out, versus saying, Jennifer, I don't agree. And you kind of block out. But no, it's more like being, wow, I never thought about it that way. Mm-hmm. And from there, you begin to grow and you begin to have those healthy conversations and your friendship begins to become closer and closer. Because guess what? We can still love each other and disagree.
Yes. 100%.
But at the end of the day, let's leave the table understanding that we still love each other, you know? So I've been loving this time. Mental health, I'm definitely an advocate for it. It has changed me for the better. A lot of times, in person of color, we've been taught, you know, to go through things in a different way.
Yes.
But now I'm learning to go through things the proper way. Not saying what I was taught was bad. I'm just saying that now I'm learning how to talk through those things before I kind of just boil over and kind of like, you know, have a moment of breakdown. So I've learned a lot through my mental health, through my therapist, to make sure that I'm always thinking about Derek, but also how does this makes me really feel? And having that honest conversation with myself and with my family and with my friends. So it's been amazing.
Yeah, I think that's so important. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing that, being a man of color and being a man and attending counseling.
Yes.
I think that is not spoken about enough.
It's not.
And I think that it's so important because we are not, you know, we don't want to generalize. We want to be open and bring that knowledge to everyone so that they feel comfortable because, you know, even statistics show, research has showed that, you know, years ago, it wasn't okay to attend counseling. It was you need to deal with your problems in your home silently.
Yep.
And it was, you know, that's a learned behavior that you're taught culturally generation to generation.
I agree.
And so I think that this is a time where things are changing. This is a time where people are being vulnerable, are being open, and are sharing stories like yours that are really paving that path for the future.
A lot is going on. A lot is happening. It's very important that you make sure that you're taking care of your whole self.
Yes.
I tell all my friends, I want you to be well. And what that means, I want you to make sure that every part about you is well. Because if you're not well, you can't be the best friend that I need you to be to me. Yeah. You can't be the best employer, etc., etc. The list goes on and on, right? So it's very important that we practice, one, self-care. Now, self-care for me was hard. Jennifer can tell you, I'm running events, I'm doing projects, I'm out of town. The list goes on and on. So self-care for me was like, being at home and still emailing. No, self-care is literally get your candle, turn that phone off, close that laptop, get off that Mac computer, and you just relax. And literally, to be honest, this is my first week actually in all my years of living understanding what self-care means.
That's beautiful.
I checked myself into a hotel and I relaxed. I left my home. I checked the hotel. I left my laptop home and I just relaxed. I woke up when I wanted to wake up. I got room service. It was the best thing ever. It was amazing, y'all. So, self-care. Make sure you take time to focus on yourself. It's amazing.
And it's never too late. So, like you said, this is the first week that you're actually doing this. Like, it's never too late to change the habits that you have been doing for years. It is possible.
It's possible.
And that's why it's good to have community. It's good to have accountability. It's good to have a therapist because we are making sure that is happening and that you don't only want to change, that you're doing the steps you need to create change, sustainable change, not just change for, you know, this next month that's coming. Like, a lifetime. Like, you are so important, and not only is your physical health important, which I feel like we often address in this world, but also your mental health.
Yes, mental health is huge, and sometimes we're afraid to speak on our mental health, right? But it's important. It's okay to self-advocate for yourself and others, right? And so this channel is always so important. As I said at the beginning, these videos are always so empowering and inspiring because you can kind of have this nice background, and Jennifer has a way of just talking you through certain things. And every special guest she ever brings on her channel, they always leave you with so much nuggets that kind of push you forward to living life better. And so it's always important that sometimes we take this moment and slow down in life and just enjoy the things. And also sometimes listen to people like Jennifer, who has a great way of making sure you always are having healthy reminders that you matter and that you can make it. So I'm going to pause and just say thank you for what you do, because it's inspiring people and it's always up. It's so happy to kind of go to your channel and view these videos. I'm like, I learned something new. So thank you for this channel, and thank you for being an advocate for mental health. It's amazing.
Thank you.
It's so empowering. Thank you so much.
You're gonna cry.
That was off the line, y'all. But it was like, I think she needs to hear that, because really you're helping so many people, and it's so inspiring. So just keep doing what you're doing. I'm such a fan. I said fan, you all. I'm such a fan. And I always text her, oh my God, I saw your video. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I saw your video. Good job. I love it. So yes.
Wow, that really means a lot to me.
Yes,
Thank
definitely.
you so much, Derek. I think that we have really kind of conquered what I wanted today, which was to talk about mental health, talk about service, talk about, community and accountability, and, just creating that pathway for you to be a more successful you.
I agree.
The final question I have for you today.
Of course, bring it on. Bring it on. I'm ready. I'm ready.
What's the last thing? I know that you've mentioned a lot of great tips and information, but what is one thing that you want everyone to leave with today?
Yes, the one thing, that's a powerful question, is, and I'm going to say this, you can do anything you put your mind to. That's the one thing. You take nothing away from this conversation today, is that you can do anything you put your mind to. And that has so much weight and power to it, right? So when I make a game plan, when I put myself first, and let me pause and say that a lot of people struggle with putting themselves first. I'm really big on making sure that everything that I need has to come first. Because if I'm not well, if I'm not whole, I can't be an advocate, or I can't push Jennifer to her wonderful, future goals that she may have, because I'm not my best self. So once I had that mindset of, wow, I can achieve anything that I put my mind to, it matters. And so I want to encourage anyone with this last closing thought of, you legit can do anything that you put your mind to. Have a game plan. Make sure you have the right people around you that's going to push your vision, push your goal, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether you want to build a house. Listen, I just purchased a house in December, and I told my friend who was my realtor, I'm buying a house, and I have 4 months to do it. And she was like, huh? Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. So I will close out with that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Derek, for being here.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Take care, everyone. Bye.